Quick shout out to my Patreons who keep this channel going. You can join my Patreon down in the description below. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the 22nd episode of Higurashi When They Cry New/Go. This one's Village Destroying Chapter Part 5, right? 5? Yes, 5. I think this is our final arc for the rest of the show, essentially. So yeah, we've only got 3 more episodes left, actually. We got this one next week, and then the week after, and then we're done with GOU, essentially. I don't know if that's going to follow with an announcement of another project coming afterwards or not. I imagine it might. It depends on how much they wrap up in this episode, I suppose. I know some of you might be a little concerned that it's actually going to wrap up neatly in just 3 more episodes. I mean, that is an hour of screen time, and we've basically got most of the... Well, we haven't got most of the answers, not by a fucking long shot, but we've got the start of where... We know why we're in this whole situation now. Now it's about looping back around and trying to get out of it. For Rika, anyway. And almost certainly, it's going to go back to that shard. The shard that can kill a looper. Which, at the time, was meant to be like, oh, it's a way to kill yourself and be free from this forever. But now it's a case of, well, we could kill the other looper. In this case, Satoko. Although... How the looping works specifically, I don't know. I don't know if this show is really going to explain too much of it. I think someone in the comments last week started to explain it. I didn't read that comment because I'm not quite I'm very cautious about reading any comment on Higurashi right now. So I apologize if you have answered this question already. And I'm willingly ignoring it just because I don't know if it's a spoiler that the show will cover at any point or not. But... yeah, how this world handles looping, because time is a fucking mess when you start messing with it and having alternate timelines where you change things. It's like, how it models it will define how certain interactions go, right? Especially when you got, like, one person jumping around time is messy enough. Having 2 people doing it simultaneously, who decides what happens? Like, Satoko obviously forcefully puts Rika back into it, because that's how we started off the show, with Rika wondering why I was at St. Lucia, what happened? Now, she did not know that Satoko was the one to do it. At least it wasn't shown that she knew. She just knew that she'd been sent back, and she was cursing that reason. So, now that she knows it's Satoko, as per the end of the last arc, Cat Deceiving chapter, Satoko pulls a gun on Rika at the end of that arc, so I imagine we're going to loop back around to that bit now, because after the chandelier death, that was the first death of Rika since Satoko became a looper, and I wonder if it's that specific one that sent her back, in which case, why did Rika not remember? I guess it's not entirely clear that Satoko did it, although, I mean, if you remember that conversation, it kind of seems obvious that she would have been the one to do it. But I feel like she should remember that. I don't think there's any clues or context of it being the chandelier or anything like that. So maybe we'll expand upon that. I don't know. The thumbnail for this episode on Funimation had Takano on it and the whole military thing, so I'm kind of curious to see why we're bringing that back. Because I don't feel like that would be relevant in any way to what's currently going on, but who knows at this point, right? Like, everything is related at this point. It's just a mess. But man, that chandelier scene was brutal, and it's weird to say I enjoyed the death of 2 of the main characters of the show, but yeah, it was foreshadowed so much that I'm like, I was waiting for it, and when it happened, it was just as gruesome as I had hoped. People keep saying, I've heard comments like, this is way more gory than the original anime. I don't know if that's necessarily true. When I think of Higurashi here, yes, there's a lot of gore in it, especially the Satoko killing Rika scene, which was kind of what started to clue me into maybe the fact that Satoko was kind of not all she was showing herself to be. Because, again, it was 4 scratch marks instead of 3, unlike everyone else, for some reason. She was way more calm and composed about it, for some reason. Like, yeah, like, that started to clue me in on some stuff. But that there are those gory moments, but a lot of the initial build-up was very suspenseful and building atmosphere and building the creepiness to it, and that's kind of what I associate Higurashi with more than overall gore, at least from my interpretation of this season that I'm watching, as my first taste of Higurashi, which, if I had known this definitely was meant to be a planned sequel after the events of the first season, I would have held off and watched the originals first. And whilst I'm still enjoying my experience and I'm still keeping pace with it, I think I would recommend watchers, if you want to be fully invested into the world of Higurashi, this is not knowing what the quality of the originals are like, I would say go watch the originals first and then come to this, because this technically is a sequel at this point. Whilst it is a sequel that is very new person friendly, as evidenced by my approach to it, I still feel like this is technically a sequel in that regard. So, anyway, enough babbling. We need to get into the episode, because I want to see what's going on with this. I want to see where we get dropped off here, because we both died, so Sato's going to reset. I assume Rika's reset as well, but without knowledge of it. Timelines are fucked, okay? And I don't know how they're going to tie it in, so we'll see. Anyway, as per usual, these are time-based form actions here on YouTube. If you want to see a full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture actions I do on the channel, which is everything from this season and future seasons, some backdated shows, Patreon request shows. There's a movie poll up right now as well, so you can vote on what movie I watch this month. All that good stuff. There are higher tiers as well if you want to support by having your name at the beginning of a video, like you saw at the beginning of this. Or if you want to get a show reaction in, those might be opening up a little bit next season, although I've got the feeling, well, one slot's taken with World Trigger. Log Horizon might be taken up for a second time with Season 2 coming out. We'll see if that happens or not. I don't know if IQ wants to recommend another show after School Live or not. And what else was there? Symphogear, right. We might get another season of Symphogear out of it as well. We'll see. I've got to actually catch up and finish the ones I'm on so far. Anyway. But here on YouTube, we do timer-based. Bottom left of the screen, you'll see a timer for the episode. Countdown 3, 2, 1, play. Then on play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be good to go. We have the Katakawa and Funimation logos to start with this one. So about 10 seconds logos. I'll call them out as they go past. You can also use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when it's transitioning. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Almost messed that up. Funimation, cheers. Here we go. Yep, there goes the chandelier. Why is this not disappearing? There we go. Fucking scream, I love it. Creepy ass motherfucker. And we're back here again. Do we come back here every time we die and we've just been omitting most of that? Is that something from the originals? I don't know. Alright, OP time. Also, I don't know if I remember that box being there, like, in the first editions of the OP. I feel like that might have been added in after the revelation at the end of Cat Deceiving. But I can't remember now. Our creepy lady being in the OP definitely is new, though. And yes, this OP is almost certainly from Satoko's perspective. I wonder who's reaching out to Rika in that. Alright, here we go. Here we are again. Hmm. Hmm. Every time it just hurts so much more to her. Sasuke snapped. Hmm. Her eyes. I've got a bad feeling. I've got a very bad feeling. Oh no. Hello, Truck-kun. I don't think we're getting Isekai this time, though. Oh. 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 That was visceral. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's another timeline done. 1984. So let's stay here and find them all. She's trying her best. Hmm. It's gonna backfire. Oh boy. Each loop is just making her worse and worse and worse. Oh. Just casually lounging, watching all these futures. Well, futures. All these timelines, I should say. What does she get out of this? I wonder. Hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 100 years trapped there. If you're stuck somewhere for 100 years, you'd want to leave too. Oh, Sasuke's being told about it, okay. Mm-hmm. Well. Mm, mm-hmm. That time we did, anyway. Hmm. Oh, we're gonna start looking in. Okay. This is the original story. So I'm gonna guess we're covering a bunch of the stuff from the originals now. Is that what we're gonna be doing? Is that all we get? Okay. It wasn't just him. Hmm. It's not guaranteed, but. Mm hmm. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Okay. Gonna watch all 100 years. Ah. Well, let's get going then. How much of that are we gonna show? Or is it just gonna be assumed? So, Fumiyoshi? Ooh, there's. Yep. Amateurs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of original shit that I am not clued into. Mountain dogs are protected. Okay. The brother. Right. Hmm. 100 years of looping. Oh, so many fragments. Hmm. Very true. Oh. Ah. Sure. Oh boy. Well. Ah. Okay. And this is where it starts. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Ah, that's why she doesn't remember. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. That brings us to the point we were at the end of Cat Deceiving. Wait, Cat Deceiving? Rika's the cat. Oh my god. That just clicked. Well, if you have to break her will in order to do that, hmm. I don't think it's true that she doesn't. Hmm. Oh boy. Is that how we end the episode here, don't we? Oh boy. Okay. That was a lot of setup, but it's good that we got it. So I love that we're keeping up with the chandelier ED now. It's quite appropriate. And this is where we clue back in now. So we're going to kill Rika at St. Lucia, then kill ourselves, and then we'll be back together. So I guess now we get to see what Satoko was doing in all the arcs beforehand. I assume. I guess this would be the answer arcs that I heard about, like very early on. You get the question arcs and the answer arcs. I guess this would lead into the answers. of how Satoko changed events so that things would happen. And it all relates around Hinabazawa syndrome, H173, right? Which I don't know the full story of because I didn't see the originals, but I assume I'll learn a bit more about it as I get to the originals. Alright. Finish destroying chapter part 6. God damn it. Cat deceiving chapter. Deceiving Rika, the cat. God damn it. That's quite clever. I wondered why cat deceiving chapter. But that makes so much sense. It's deceiving Rika. The final bit was us deceiving Rika the entire time. That's pretty clever. I don't know if that was the intention behind it, but it fits, so I'm going with it, and I'm saying that's why it's that way. I assume that's why it's called Cat. Like, there's no other reason for it to be called Cat Deceiving Chapter, other than the fact that Rika, the cat, as she's referred to by a mysterious lady, yeah. And this is how it all starts off. Okay, so I wonder if they're going to show what death we actually give to Rika to send her back, or now that we've explained why she's, or how this works, we don't need to show that specifically. But I assume we're now going to see what Satoko was doing for Demon Deceiving Chapter. Yeah. What happened in the first arc? First arc was Reina, right? So what do we do to Reina? I guess we've got to infect her with Hinabazawa syndrome or whatever. Which was fairly early on that we see that. You know, it was like episode 2 where we started really seeing the craziness side of it. It's going to be very interesting. I hope we are going to do that, like go back to our original arcs and start seeing what she changed to make it work. But I guess we'll see. 2 more episodes. How on earth are we going to wrap this up in 2 episodes, though? I genuinely don't know how we can wrap this up in 2 episodes. I don't think we can we? Because next episode is going to be at least a few minutes. The next episode has to be explaining what Satoko was doing. Like, I hope they don't just omit what Satoko did to change the events for Rika throughout her previous timelines. I assume at least half an episode is going to be dedicated to that. Then we get to where we were at the end of Cat Deceiving Chapter, where Rika's managed to figure out that it was Satoko and has put into a plan that she knows that it's Satoko. I wonder if that memory will persist into the next loop, because the hours beforehand and knowing what killed her, she forgets, unless it's possible that the horn that broke is actually being mended and she now can remember those certain instances. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this goes, but I can't see this wrapping up nicely in 2 episodes. I just can't. Which makes me think there's going to be another season announcement, probably. Or at least another project afterwards, maybe in the form of like an OVA or something, maybe? Something like that. But I don't think anything official has come out just yet. It's a bit too early for sequel announcements and stuff yet. Yeah, it's too early for news of that sort. It will be end of the season when shows start having their final episodes that we start getting that. Interestingly, bit of news I did just see. Funimation will be screening the Violet Evergarden movie at the end of March in US and Canada theaters, so that's going to be good. Yeah, I don't know when that means the Blu-ray comes out. When's the Blu-ray for Violet Evergarden the movie coming out? Because I know I'm going off on the side here, but I really do want to see it. Any updates? A lot of people asking, but nothing saying. There's the complete series, but that's not the actual thing. Yeah, there's still no news on that. Because as soon as that Blu-ray comes out, fan subs can start coming out, and then we actually have a chance of watching that. Because that's not even going to go up to a pop. I'm watching that movie regardless, but yeah. Anyway, back to Higurashi. Sorry for the brief aside. Yeah, nice to see Truck-kun. I didn't expect to see Truck-kun in this one, but it's a shame Satoko didn't get isekai'd. It seems like Truck-kun is not as powerful as a Looper in this instance. She got turned to fucking mist, though. Jesus Christ. Right, so... I assume they'll bring the shard back. Like, I assume that shard's gonna be brought back because it's the one thing that was mentioned and was like used as Rika's like, this will be my final attempt and then I'll just end it all thought. But if she can remember that it exists, she has a very good chance of doing something. But that would imply that Rika would have to kill Satoko, which would be very, very tragic. Because Satoko does not know about the shard that could kill a Looper. She doesn't know about that. No, she doesn't, because she only saw Rika's loops up until the beginning of the series. Everything after that, she's not seen of Rika specifically. Because whilst Rika was learning about that, Satoko was off doing whatever she needed to do to warp the arcs. So yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't know about the shard yet. I guess she will at some point, question mark? But I don't know. God, this show is creepy. I do wonder how the hell they'll wrap it up. I assume there's probably going to be another series. If there is a sequel series to this, I hope it's still a ways off so I can actually fit in the original works before them, because I feel like I need some of the original works for some of that stuff. I'm sure for those who watched the original, it might be nice to see the new art style for some of the classic scenes, but beyond that, I don't know. One more to think. Like, the whole Mountain Dogs thing and, like, H173 thing, like, they mention it a lot, but I have no real context as to what most of that means. So I need to watch the originals to see what that actually meant, but might take a while. Like I said, I think we have like a year of Higurashi content to watch. Like, straight up, we have a whole year worth. Because one episode a week, it'll take a year to get to, but yeah, I'm committed to this journey now, and I will continue with it. I don't think we'll continue with it straight away. What I'll probably do is, this season ends, the last video will come out on the 19th, so I'll take a break on the 26th, and maybe on the 2nd as well. I kind of want to see what my schedule looks like before I start the original Higurashi, because I've got to work in Patreon request shows and such into my schedule along with all the new seasonal shows. So I'll see what days are relatively light, then I'll schedule it in, and then if I drop a large amount of shows on one day in particular, for example, let's say Wednesdays become like one show because there's no other shows I wanted to watch on that day, then I might transition it to there from where it originally was to help make the schedule a bit nicer. I can guarantee you, next season will not be as busy as this season, because I cannot keep this pace of this season up, as was proved by the entire month of February. It kind of broke me to an extent. Like, yes, there were a lot of outside factors that broke me as well, such as my kitchen flooding, my dad in hospital, my sleep schedule being fucked, me being very exhausted most of the time, real life work. Like, there was a lot of things that happened in February to throw me off schedule so much, but also just having so many shows made it that catching up is near impossible. If I fall behind on a show, I kind of have to just say, well, I'm behind. Like, I can't catch up. that easily. Just too many shows. But anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments. Be mindful of your comments. I'm very much ignoring a lot of comments, just because I'm trying to avoid as much spoilers, as dumb as it sounds, for the original as possible, so that when I go back to it, I'm not completely blindsided by it. I remember there was a comment on how the time looping worked. If don't need to write it all out again, because I can just go back and see it, but I would like to know if that explanation on how the loops work is something that the show explained in the original series, if it's explained in this series, or if it's just kind of implied through multiple universes, because if I remember correctly, this Umineko and the new one, whatever the hell that one's called, like, they're all based in the same universe and the time fragment thing. I think I saw a comment that said, this might have been part of the same comment on time looping, but it was like, imagine each one as a galaxy. Like, they're all clumped together in their own little thing, but like there's a huge space between them as well. But it's like different galaxies in a universe is how I have read it, I believe, to be interpreted. So, if I'm right with that, I don't know or not, but that's kind of how I've heard it or read from it. I don't remember if it was my own comments or somewhere else I read that, but anyway, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Winter 2021 lineup you can find on the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.